Don't read it. All right, guys, what's going on? We're here. We're live. Welcome to a brand new Poker Live podcast. My name's Joey Ingram1, aka Chicago Joey. Guys, let me know if my audio out there is good. I've got my old setup back here in Las Vegas. Today's podcast sponsored by this book right here called The Book of Mythicality. That's who sponsored today's podcast. I literally just grabbed that book here. And also, IKEA has been nice enough to donate to me 100 soccer balls like this. Shout out to IKEA. IKEA Marcus, of course, a longtime sponsor of the podcast. We had Matt Berkey on Monday. Make sure you guys check that out. He responded to Doug Polk. What did he say? What's happening with those? I'm not sure. But joining me today on the podcast is a young woman who I know very well, a friend of mine. She is one of the, you know what? I'm just going to say it. All right. I don't care if feminists can come after me. Kate Hall, come after me. It's fine. She's the best female Pot player I've ever met in my entire life. She is somebody who is, she has such a deep passion for poker. It's probably one of the people that I've met and talked to that I felt like really wanted to make it at poker in sort of a way that reminded me of myself. I used to feel when I was grinding so many hours of poker, I think when I was 25, 23, 24, something like that, which AKA a long time ago, because I'm old. But a woman who, she's got a lot of work ethic, eats, sleeps, and breathes poker. But she does play Millenholm tournaments too, because you guys know that's where all the glory is at in poker right now. Recently got signed to 888 Poker, and this podcast has been a long time coming since the summertime. We're joined. Yes, she plays the great game of Potland Omaha. There was actually a time where, I don't know if this is allowed or not, but we played on a site. I'm just not going to name the site, but we played on a site together, and she watched me play it, and then I just let her take over. I don't know if that's loud or not, but it was on a site. It doesn't even matter what site it's on. It doesn't matter. But we're joined by young Vivian Saliba in the house. What's up, Vivian? Welcome officially to the podcast.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Do you remember this time that we were playing Potland Omaha together and I kind of let you take, you were on point, man. I don't know. You don't really play much online, but you were crushing it with PLO. That was the first time I was like, oh my God, that's the first time you flexed the PLO knowledge there.
Oh, thank you. It was really sweet because you were asking me some questions like, why is that like this? Why do you do that? And you were kind of testing me. And yeah, it's poker. Even though I don't play much online, it's still poker. Of course, you have to adapt some things, but in the end.
Yeah. So, Vivian, why don't you tell us? I know people out there, they don't know much about you. For the most part, it seems like on Instagram, it's kind of where I think we first sort of came across each other before we met in the summertime randomly at the Win Omaha table. Shout out to the Win Poker Room. Why don't you tell some people out there a little bit about your background for those that might not follow you on Instagram? And even if they do, they might not know too much about your history or sort of, how you came to be where you're at right now.
All right. So it's a long way. I've been playing poker for 7 years now, professionally for 2. I'm 24 years old now, so I'm still kind of young. I hope so. It's kind of young. I started player here in Brazil when I was underage. I was 17. My dad, he also plays, and he took me to a poker club. I had a fake ID, and I played a freehold tournament. And if you busted and you made a re-entry, it cost like $10. So that was my first poker experience, and I cashed. And it was so amazing. And I keep playing for a couple of years. I was so bad because I never studied in that period. I was really bad, but I was less bad than the other players. And I was still able to make money. So I always joke it was kind of a profitable hobby. And I started playing in college with my poker winnings. I started paying for my expenses. And this is when I started to take it a little bit more serious. So when I was on my 3rd year of college, I got a super nice internship job. And when I took the contract to sign on the college, I was staring at it and I was like, oh my God, I can sign it because I won't be able to play, to work, and to study. And this is when I made the decision. I would focus on poker. I would feel my heart and do what I liked. And I don't regret. It's a job like no other. You have to breathe and work a lot. It's a lot of hard work involved. People don't see all the bad things you go through, only the good moments and the glories. But it's amazing. I love it. Everything's going well. And I used only to play cash games, especially PLO in the last 3 years. And this year is my first year playing tournaments,
Oh
actually.
my, Tony, come on. That's not, oh my God.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
played
believe it.
before, but not seriously. And I have much to improve. Of course, I still have much to improve in PLO, but it's going super fine. I had some nice scores. I got close many times. I'm getting experience. And this is the magic about the game because you can see yourself getting better every day. You put the effort and you see the results. Of
Mhm.
course, sometimes it's frustrating and sometimes you say like why to me, but you need to see as an overall thing, and this is me.
I forget you're 24. I mean, I don't know why, man. Yeah, you're very young still, and I feel like you mentioned that you mainly focused on PLO cash, and you mentioned growing up in Brazil, and kind of growing up in Brazil. You've told me a lot about what exactly it's like to play poker there live, and there's a lot of high rake, and it's some shadiness going on. And by the way, my buddy Bruno Malvazzali, who is been a long time listener of the podcast, and he said something to me. He's like, "Oh, I actually saw Vivian's dad on the street the other day," and I was like, "Oh, hey," like it was like a very weird thing, and I was like, "Oh, it's kind of coming all full circle here," because I think it was from the summertime.
My
But you
dad.
mentioned PLO tournament, but then you mentioned that you started playing more Nolan home tournaments, and you've kind of played some in the past too. But you've also, you think you won? What was it? The ladies event over in London? What was that? An EPT or was that an 888 thing? What was that? What was that ladies event that you took down there?
The latest event was in 888 Live in London, and it was 2 months ago. And I got a package for World Series Zero because of that. So, and I cashed the main, and I played decent. Sadly, I didn't run very good, but so it was amazing because it's kind of a free hole and you cash. It's really nice. Every poker player who travels know how important is to cash, mini cash tournaments, and because the buy-ins are pretty high normally.
Ball Balky, by the way, guys, we'll get to some of these questions, and you guys can see the guitar is in the background. That's right. The guitar has made its way from Chicago to Las Vegas, and the guitar just stays back there. Everybody out there knows I am a guitar savant. I play the guitar often, and I've been playing a lot more guitar lately. So yeah, we'll maybe I'll play some guitar later in the podcast. I'm not really sure. So I mean, so you mentioned you did sign with 888 Pokers. So how did that happen? How did that come to be? Because I know from summertime, I kept telling you, I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure you get signed with a poker site, and you were like, nah, I don't think so. I'm like, so listen, Vivian, something tells me I feel like you would get signed with a poker site, and you're like, nah, I don't think. I'm like, no. It turns out that happened to come true pretty quickly after the summer.
Yes. Since I decided I would leave from poker, I always joke that I had two options. Either I would be really successful or a fucking legend. Those were my only two options. So success or success. So I was putting a lot of hard work on it, and I was trying to work with the tools I had that here. I will talk a little bit about this Brazil poker scenario, and people will understand a little bit more. Was breathing poker and everything about poker, and I told you I received some bad offers in the past, and I have in mind that I want to affiliate with a good company, a site that I believe, um, somewhere where I can grow and help them grow together. And I think all the hard work I put it on social media, on my performance on the tournaments, being a girl, being able to speak for the society about our community. It all happened. I help it, and like 888 is everything I always wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy for you because I know how hard and how much effort, how much work you put in. I think a lot of people out there, and this is probably a video I should make on my YouTube channel talking about this. There are certain people who, sort of say they want to make it at poker. And then when you really get to see how they're living or how they approach poker, what kind of happens is like they're very inconsistent with it. They're very inconsistent with their study. They're inconsistent with their play. They might go through like a month or a couple of weeks where they're all in on poker, and then for the most part they sort of do a lot of other things, which is pretty fine. But oftentimes people that I know that have made it at poker and had success at poker are people who like sort of live and breathe poker in a way, which is good and bad. And that was something that I really noticed from you from spending a lot of time around you this summer, was that like you were like every day it's like I need to get better today. I need to go have success today. I need to figure out how to just make it today. You know what I mean? And kind of in a way you wanted to make it so bad, make it in terms of success, or make it in terms of kind of being known for having success at poker. And I think that's a very rare quality. The more, I think I've told you this a lot, the more I've gotten to know people in poker, the more rare I see that quality is in poker, and especially in life in general. So I feel like with sort of that attitude, it's very hard to not have success in some type of way. And now when you look at the success that you've had since the summertime, do you feel like you've had some success that you're very happy about? Or do you feel like, all right, there's still, I still want to do this or this? How have your goals sort of shifted in terms of what you want to achieve right now?
Of course, I'm really happy for what I've done, because at the moment I did the best I could. Sometimes if you look in the past with your mind in the future, you say, oh, I would do everything different, but you couldn't that time. And that time you did everything you could. So I'm pretty happy. I have many goals. I still want to. I want one day in the future when we do a podcast together again, introduce me. I don't want you to say like one of the best female poker players I know. I want you to say one of the best poker players I know. Of course, still a long way to go. I have to put a lot of effort, a lot of study, but I believe I can do it. I believe I can improve a lot. And I just want to be my best version every day. Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. I'm just taking. Are you feel like you're going to turn your back on the great game of Pot Limit Omaha? Because Vivian, I'm a little bit scared that you've got a little bit of taste of what the tournament glory life is, and now you realize that, like, I don't know, man. There's much more glory in tournaments than there is in Pot Limit Omaha cash games, and it seems like you're not coming back to PLO, Vivian, and I'm a little bit sad about that.
No, this is not true. I think you can do both things. I think you can even play mixed games and other modalities. You see many amazing poker players like Phil Hellmuth. He has scores in everything. He plays all variants. He's really good in everything. You can be good in more than one type of poker. When I travel, I play the big tournaments. I don't play every single Hold'em tournament. I like to play the big guarantees ones or the main events or so. And in my other time, I'm playing cash games. And honestly, I was in Amsterdam last week, and I tried to play one day Hold'em cash game. At least for me, it's tough. It's that players are so needy. The game is slow. They Hollywood. And I'm not probably way better than the average, so it's even tougher. So, I like the PLO game. I like the PLO cash games. You can live the dream of scoring a big hit and make a lot of money. But if you see in long term, cash games can give you more money than tournament if you divide the hours you play and how much you make. So I can see you really well now. What have you done? Better.
I'm back now. Vivian, I have to say you're being so in line right now with the way you're speaking about things. I'm very happy right now. You're very in line. But Vivian, Vivian's got a very in line person. She's very in line, but then sometimes Vivian can get a little out of line, especially maybe you put a little pizza in front of her, maybe you get some music going on, maybe you get some downswings going on, and then Vivian. Yeah, yeah.
I have this pizza thing. Everybody who follows me know I'm a foodie. I like to eat and I like to cook, and pizza is one of my favorites. And I'm pretty clumsy and funny. I'm trying to give a good image to the new followers and
I
people
know.
who
I can tell. I can tell. I can tell
I'm
you are.
polite. Like you don't take someone to your place and like you start yelling and breaking everything. But
That's very weird. That because I think when you were maybe first here, you were throwing and breaking things. So that's very strange. Now you're not. So I'm liking this new subdued, this new calm Vivian Saliba. I'm liking this young woman here.
thank you, Jay. I can break something here if that will cheer you up.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. So I think that you do have a very. I think you do have a very nice and polite side. You also have a little more aggressive side. I think that comes out when you play poker too, because I've had we played some live sessions together. I'm pretty sure I did own you a couple of those live sessions too. Shout out to me, of course. And but you got a really good a table, table presence when you're playing there. You have. I don't know. I feel like you got like a professional poker player sort of a table image when you play. Like I don't really have an image like that. And is that something that you work on, or is that something that you just sort of naturally have had over the years?
Definitely something I had to work, and also depend a little bit on what you're playing. When I'm playing cash game, of course, I try to be focused. And in the past, I was so focused. I was kind of that uh, bad person who had headphones on, don't talk to others.
Mhm.
And I learned, especially for live cash games, you need to be social. You need to talk a little bit. It's okay if you have wandering sometimes and you talk to people, and the game is way more fun, enjoyable for you, for the others, and also the grinding hours. Because when you have a session, a live session, you may play for 12 hours, 14 hours. Once I played for 30 hours, it happened. If the game's good, you must play it. Of course, sometimes you have to cash out or make a stop loss. But overall, if you're playing well and on your limits, the game's good, you should play. So it depends. Tournaments, what you see is like the main events and big buyings. Then I want to be 100%. Then I don't talk much. I put my headphones. I watch people. I know almost all the important hands. I know the size. I know how people react. All kind of information you can collect. It's gonna be really welcome in the future when you have a similar situation with those players. So I think depend a little bit, but nowadays when it's possible, I try to enjoy a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess thinking back to the series, you were the only woman, and this was like a shocking stat for me when I heard it. You were the only woman under 25, I believe, in the entire main event, which seems kind of crazy when you think about. Because I'm like, oh, a lot of women that play poker, and some are younger, but I just found that stat sort of insane. Now, being a woman in poker, obviously you've met a ton of women around the world in poker. You've got to spend time with them and talk with them. Why do you think you are the only woman under 25 to register the main event this year out of what, 8,000 people?
All right. First of all, there are not too many women in poker. We are kind of 5% of the players. So it's not much.
Damn.
And I've been to many places right now, and it's everywhere the same. It's not a US thing or a Europe thing or a Brazilian thing. Everywhere is not that many women for many reasons. We can bring more women to the game. We can nice tournament for women. We can do some promotion, and I think the number can be bigger. But I never think it's gonna be similar name, similar number, men in poker. And you see that in many sports like soccer, Formula One, UFC. Something is more manly than girly. I don't know. I think it's logical, mathematically game, and women can be really good and play equally, but many women don't have the interest, so there is not many women. And the main event is a $10,000 buy. It's pretty expensive,
Mhm.
especially for young people. If you're old and you like poker, you have save money and you can spend whatever you want. You like poker, gonna play the 10K. But if you're like 20, you're a student, you have a small salary or so, you won't pay a $10,000 buying. So either you are a professional or no when you're young. And as it's so many, not as it's so not much woman in poker, I think that's the reason.
Hmm. So when did you play your first $10,000 buy-in tournament? Was it this summer?
Yes.
Oh, what event was that? Did you have a story behind how that came to be?
Yeah. You helped me playing the PLO.
How'd that happen?
I went to Las Vegas and I was like, okay, I will sell a little action for the main. I think it's gonna be easier. I had something sold before I traveled there. And I was happy if I played some small tournaments by my own and cash game. And then you told me you should play the 10K PLO. And I said, well, I'm not really into this selling action thing for me right now. Paying for my pocket is too much. And you insist I post it, and people believe me. People who follow me and see how I perform.
All right, let me tell the actual story, Vivian. You're telling the story bad. Here's what happened.
It is that.
Here's what happened. Let me tell the story what happened, guys. All right, so me and Vivian, hung out a lot this summer, and I got to hear her talk Patlamaw all the time. I'm like, damn, like you're really good at PLO. Like you understand PLO very well. And she's also played a lot of tournaments, had success at tournaments. So I think we were sitting at the pool one day, and I was like, dude, you do not understand. This is one of the softest Patlamaw events you're ever gonna find. She's like, no, I'm not gonna play. No one's gonna buy my action. I was like, listen, you fucking have to play this. You don't understand. You don't get it. You don't understand like how soft this tournament is. She's like, I'm not. I don't think anyone's gonna buy my action. I was like, trust me, you have to sell the action at a tournament. So I convinced her to put up something on Instagram story and in her Facebook story. She sold the action just about instantly. Unfortunately, I did not get a piece. And then she ended up getting 10th place in the goddamn tournament. And I thought she was going to win it at one point in time. And she got 10th place, right?
11th.
11th place. Yeah, that's it's a pretty incredible story, pretty incredible run. I think it's like a 3 or 4 day event or something like that. And then you just kept getting deeper. And I was like, I'm talking to Jonah. I'm like, dude, how did I not get a piece of this? This is fucking so sick. I was like, if Vivian takes this down, how did I not get 5% or something of this? And yeah, I think
you would get something. You would. Even though you didn't have shares, you would. You convinced me to play it. You convinced me. And this is where everything started, kind of. I'm really glad.
I know. Isn't that? I was thinking about that in like a way. I feel like I wouldn't say responsible, good or bad or whatever, but I feel like that did sort of propel you because then you played the 25K PLO as well too, and then pretty much since then you've decided you've been playing a lot more higher buy-in events. And whether it's, do you think it was a good thing to decide to do that or a bad thing to decide to do that?
It was an amazing thing, and it changed my mind. You were right. The 10K PLO is probably one of the most soft fields on the series, especially for a 10K, the soft 10K. You see many great Hold'em players, people I saw on TV before that I have admiration, but they are playing PLO like it was Hold'em with Hold'em with 4 cards.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing PLO and they're so bad. So you're playing against the recreational players, you're playing against the bad PLO who are good Hold'em players, you're playing against the weak PLO players, you're playing against a bunch of weak players, and it's amazing value. For sure, I will play every year from now. When I play the 25K, I didn't have the same image, because then all of those bad PLO players who are good at Hold'em, they don't play it because it's a big buying. Only the weak PLO players, they don't play it. My table on the 25 was super tough. There was not even one recreational player. And in my case, as being a Brazilian, I have to pay tax. So I don't know. I think I will have to think about it. But the 10K is for sure one that I won't skip it. And it also changed my perspective of tournaments. It was 400 entries, and you could make 1 million almost. It's way easier to win a tournament like this than these massive fields like 3,000, 5,000 players, and it's kind of a bingo. So after Vegas, I start playing big buying tournaments with smaller fields where you can make more, especially if you think you beat the field. I think it's the best thing you should do.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you talked about the 25K appeal and 10K appeal. That's a big thing I noticed was that the field and the 25K
It's
slightly to a lot harder, a lot tougher than the 10K PLO. So I don't know, man. So people in the chat are talking about the quality of the camera. Listen, man, this is going to be one of the last podcasts I have with the current setup I have. I'm getting a brand new actual production quality broadcast camera. I know the Google Hangouts is clear, but I'm turning this second bedroom of mine here into an actual studio. So I'm getting a different camera that's going to be GTO. I'm getting totally different setup. Going to do some stuff in the room as well, and I can't wait for that to happen. Be doing some more live podcasts as well too. So yeah, I'm very so I guess looking back in the summertime, how do you think about your first time at the World Series of Poker, right? 2017 is the first year.
Not really. It was my second time. I was there last year, but in a completely different way. I was there for only 12, 13 days. I didn't have much money with me. I decided to play some cash games. Also was my first time on US in Las Vegas. I also wanted to enjoy a little bit the trip. So it was all a mess. I didn't play any big tournament. I didn't play poker really well. I wanted to see everything. I wanted to play. I wanted to see the city. It was more like a vacation trip with a little poker than a grinding summer. This summer, I spent 2 months there on a grinding mentality. Like, this is it. This is an amazing opportunity just for being here. I would do this the most serious I can. And it was completely different. It was really intense.
So what made it intense this summer compared to last summer? Because I know you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself this year because you it seemed like you wanted to sort of, I guess, make it in some ways in one day. You wanted to have that $100,000 score and the 2-5-10 PLO game every single time you went out there. And when that wouldn't happen or when you would lose a session, it would really, and I understand that because that's how I used to be all the time. You know what I mean? I think actually kind of seeing the way that you reacted emotionally to the wins and to the losses really was eye-opening for me in a lot of ways, because I saw a lot of myself in that, how I used to be and how I think I still am sometimes, where I would let these sessions where I might be up 2 or 3 buy-ins, then I end up down 2 buy-ins, but I play for 10 hours. I would let those really impact me so hard. And I'd be like, man, like I'm so bad, or I'm so this, or I'm so that. It would really just kind of fuck with my mind emotionally. And a lot of people don't necessarily get back on the horse and start grinding the next day and the next day. And I've kind of always done that. And you seem like you're the same, where even if you let it affect you, you still went back at it the next day and still put that work in. So, it's kind of just, it was interesting to see. I feel like I learned a little bit about myself from just seeing how you dealt with the emotional swings of PLO, of the live cash games.
Yeah, I try to take things in a positive way always. I know even the best player in the world, you're gonna lose sometimes. But I think every poker player, they're a little competitive. I am a very competitive person, and I'm not just competitive with others, I'm competitive with myself. And when I lose because I was just unlucky, I'm completely fine. But when I lose because I was playing when I shouldn't play, or I was playing limits I shouldn't be playing, or I commit some leaks, or I didn't sleep well, or things like that, or I tilted, crazy because I'm a professional. I'm not allowed to do that. And sometimes we keep committing the same mistakes over and over again. I think it's the same with everybody, but it drives me crazy. I really want to be my best version. And sometimes I was a little frustrated, but with myself. Overall, I made good money this summer. It was really profitable on cash games, on tournaments. I made many friends like you. I played with people I saw on TV and the word like Las Vegas is amazing, US is amazing. It was an amazing experience. But and what I try to do is always enjoy myself. I try to enjoy a little Vegas. I went to nice restaurants. I meet friends. The amazing thing about the series is at least for like 2 weeks, everybody know about poker is gonna be on the same place. So people from Brazil, people from Europe, Americans, everybody, and it's an amazing opportunity just to have a social reunion with people you like. Also, it was really, really good. I have sweet memories of the summer.
I want to give a big shout out to Muscani. I always call her, my blurry now. I always call her Muscani, but I think it's Muskan actually. Muskan Sethi. She's an Indian poker player. And Muskan, actually, I think she was recognized by the president of India, which seems insane. I had to read it a few times, but I think there was some sort of something to do in India where, because India is kind of up and coming in the poker scene. And something where the president gives away these, like, I don't know if they're like, I don't know what they're equivalent to in America, but she was recognized by the president of the goddamn country. So I've known Muskan for a while, and want to give her a big shout out and tell her to keep it up. You ever met her before? Have you met her before? Maybe you have. She's like she travels a bunch and plays a lot of poker.
I don't think so. I think I heard something about it. I read something relating to it.
Yeah. Muskan, I'll probably have to get her on the podcast one day, man. She's definitely someone who, has big dreams in poker too. So you kind of mentioned your summer. You talked about that. Who was the favorite person that you met this summer that you got to hang out with?
Are you trying to get some credit?
No, I'm just asking questions, Vivian. I'm sitting here. I'm just asking some questions that are on my mind.
I made many friends this summer. You are good of them, for sure. And you made good influence on my career and my ideas about the game. So for sure, you are one of them. Jonah also.
Say that one more time for people that might not know, because if they've seen the Instagram comments, we joke about that sometimes.
Jonah is our friend, and I don't know why, but every time I see him, I say, Jonah!
So how did that start? Where did that name, how did that come from?
I don't know. I think he used to call him like that, and I just tried to copy, and I made it.
I forgot about that. The reason that you started calling him that was you said that I used to yell at him like that. I was like, Jonah, and then you started like mimicking. I'm just saying. I was just saying his name, I guess so. If you what?
You weren't just saying. Was something about it.
Well, what do you think about it? What was it about it?
I don't know, but in a different way.
Dang, bang, bang. My God, okay. Whoa, who's that? Is that your dog that I've heard a lot about?
Yeah, that's Napoleon. Come, Napoleon. All right, now I'm going to have to show Napoleon.
All right, we love seeing dogs on here. Let's see Napoleon the dog. Let's see. Oh, calm down. Guys in the chat, I see a lot of comments out there. I see a lot of comments that make me think this is the first time many of you have seen a woman, and that's okay. I understand. We're on the internet. Maybe you guys don't just see an active woman that you can get some influence on, but happy for you guys today. All right, Napoleon, hello. How are you doing?
He's a little dirty. He need a shower.
Vivian takes care of her dog very well, as you can see.
I do. I just got home yesterday.
Vivian,
I'm giving him a shower tomorrow.
Okay. Hello, dog. How are you? Nice to see you. Do you want to have something to say to the camera?
Hello. He's smiling.
Okay. Thank you, Napoleon, for making an appearance. We love your dog. I think your dog is certainly one of the more beautiful dogs for sure. So
Thank you, Jay. He's for sure one of the best things that ever happened to me. When I'm tilted here in Brazil or I'm upset, he's the one I go for. It's just love. It's amazing. Everyone who have dogs know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I remember you talked about your dog a lot. You very much missed your dog, and
Yes, this trip now I was crying some days, like he's my baby.
are you planning to come back to the United States anytime soon?
Yeah, for sure. But to answer that question, I will talk a little bit about what's going on here in Brazil with poker.
Sure. Go ahead.
We don't have casinos. We have only poker clubs. And it's really bad for professional poker players because they do whatever they want. The rake is ridiculous, it's unbeatable, and even you beat it, because I did for a long time. It's not fair, and you're giving away so much. They charge 5% no cap for PLO, Hoden, everything. If you're playing the biggest game, it's no cap. So it's ridiculous. And in the past, I used to make a lot of money being a super bad player who never studied, who was accommodated and lazy with my results. I thought I was good because I was doing well. But then when I started learning more, I saw how bad I was. And now, every time I study, I still see how much I have to improve. Like, how can you don't know some things? So nowadays that I'm way better, I don't make that much money here. And I start wondering why. And the reason is the bad players, they are tired of losing or they lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
They improved a little bit. There are more professionals nowadays. And it's just unfair rake for the players. So live cash games here are pretty tough and it's just not fair. We have some really good tournaments, but for many of they you have to pay 27.5% tax. The smaller ones are smaller, so it's hard to make a living from it. So I start traveling. This year, I traveled all over the year. I went to World Poker Tour in Florida in March. Then I went to Tampa. Then I went back to Brazil. I went to US for 2 months. Then I went to Europe now, where I stayed 2 more months playing all the circuits and cash games. And I think it's the most proper way. Now, when I'm here in Brazil, I will be playing online. Yes.
I've been privileged enough to be able to do some sweat sessions with you at online poker and yeah.
You know, definitely I don't have experience on online poker. The times I played, I didn't do really well. Tournaments, I'm kind of like, okay. Cash games, you need to use some softwares and stuff to get adapt. But after I signed with 888, I start learning about more the company. And what I'm super excited, and I am already testing and it's doing super well. Like, the good thing about 888 is like the slogan is taking back the game. They are innovating and they are making the game fast with some chains. They're creating some new variants of poker where it brings more the recreational players. And it's way better platform and way more profitable. You can actually make money playing it. So when I'm here in Brazil, I'll be playing online on 888. It goes, but I started already and it's doing super well. So answer your question, I'm going to US on the summer for sure. And I think I'm going before maybe to California, Los Angeles, and Vegas. Do you have any other recommendation? Where should I go there?
Well, I mean, listen, the Five Diamonds coming up here at the Bellagio in a couple of weeks. And then there's going to be Joe Ingram Pop Limit Omaha week and Live at the Bike on December 11th to December 15th. It'll be a week of Pop Limit Omaha. I'll be out there playing. That sounds like a very great chance for a young woman like yourself to come out there, show your PLO skills on stream, and support the great game of Pop Limit Omaha.
Oh, that sounds pretty sweet and pretty fun for sure. But now I can't. But if you make a new week of PLO next year, I will do my best to go there and give you some bad bits.
I gotta say, I'm happy that you've kept it. You've kept this. I haven't actually got to see this side of you for this long before. You're very calm. You're very cool. You're very composed right now. We haven't got to see a little bit of Silly Vivi, and I feel like Silly Vivi is somebody who is, once it gets going, you can't turn it off. Once the silly in you comes out, it ain't no much coming back from that, right?
Yeah, I think this is funny. Who knows me better? Who are my friends and who spend a little bit more time with me? They know I'm like the silliest person on planet Earth, and this is who I am. But being a woman in poker, I know some people might criticize me, like they say, feminist people.
Here they come.
So woman might criticize me. And they say like, oh, a woman can be herself, whatever way she wants. I disagree. I think like being a woman poker, you had to fight against a lot of stereotypes that people have of you. They will behave. Many people, they're time-minded. They are like just bad people, and they're gonna have a bad concept about you just for being somewhere different and pretty and young. And so when I play poker, I try to take care the way I behave. Sometimes I'm a little bit more closed in the beginning. If you're too open, people, they don't know how to take it, and they take it the wrong way. I take care a little bit how I dress. If I'm in a party on the shopping mall on the street, I can wear a short skirt, a cleavage, and a high heel. But I don't think this is the appropriate dress code to play a tournament, for example. You can still be sexy, you can still be pretty, but I think you just should respect yourself also. I don't know, because of the idiots out there. In the past, I've seen many, I experienced some bad situations. I've seen bad situation with women, and it's something that needs to end. But right now, it's still a little what we experience out there. So we can just ignore and think it's like just an ideal world, what it's not.
So I guess, we talked about this before. Do you deal with a lot of haters in poker? And when you do deal with that, do they come from women or do they come from men? What sort of you've been, I guess, when that
I wasn't talking about the haters. I was talking about the bad behavior with men, with women, everywhere, in all work environments and society, but in poker especially, because it's 95% men. But the hater is something that I wasn't used to have. It's something new for me. 95% or 98% of the comments and messages I receive are really positive. I'm glad to know that I can inspire people and help people. But sometimes there are people, I think they are frustrated with themselves, or you are something they wanted to be, or they are envious or jealous, and they send you some bad stuff. I would say it's more women. No, who send me bad stuff is more guys. But I know who talk more behind your back is women.
Interesting. So wait, so who are there? What have you heard? What are these women saying about you? What are they talking about?
Yeah, I know there is people. This is like I received messages, all not many, but I received some bad comments, like someone me, and I was in the picture. They were talking about another guy. And someone said, "Oh, I played with this girl in Florida. She's like the typical Brazilian aggro." Another one said, like, "Oh, I busted her." And people are just trying to put themselves superior than you are, promote themselves, and like you're just like something to them to talk about. And also in this picture, there was like a crazy woman. I think, I don't know, she's envious or jealous of me, and she started like cursing me. And then the owner of the picture, the one who posted, he deleted everything. He said, "This people is crazy." Like, but overall, many good comments. But sometimes people say like, "Oh, you don't play that good," or some women, they're like
Bang,
just
bang.
envious, jealous. But I received many good things. Sometimes they make me emotional. Like there was a guy. He was. I still have this. It's a Brazilian guy. It was 2 years ago, but I still have on my phone somewhere. He was sick, and he couldn't walk, and he had something else. And he said I inspired him, that he saw in poker opportunity like I saw it, and he saw I'm doing well and I'm succeeding, and he's a big fan, and I inspire him, and it made me super happy to make difference in someone that you don't even know.
Right.
When you start to be a little bit more famous, not that I'm famous, but at least on the community, people, you inspire people that you don't know. The things you do, the things you say, the way you grow in your career, they see you put effort, so they start putting effort. Oh, what she did? Oh, she started studying. Oh, she started traveling. Maybe I'm not doing well in Brazil. Maybe I should go outside as well. I don't know. You just open people's mind, and I think 98% it's good stuff. Many women, they message me. They say I'm an inspiration, that they want to meet me. They ask me for poker tips, where they can study, what can they do. It's many people ask me many things every day. Oh, I'm sorry.
Getting a question now from someone out there.
Well, it was my best friend.
2 comments to that. First of all, I think that it isn't because you're a woman, it's just because you're more of a person in poker, because I get a lot of messages too, and 95 to 90% are positive, but I still get 2%. And if I give a picture someone posts to me, there might be comments like that too. So I don't necessarily think it's because you're a woman. I think it's more because you're in poker. And I think most people that play poker deal with those sorts of comments. And 2, when you said that story of that guy, I thought you were going to say that this guy couldn't walk, and he was like, he couldn't move. He thought his life was over. And then he saw you play poker, and he was so inspired to meet you one day that he decided to really try to pursue walking again and getting good at poker. And you inspired him to get out of bed and finally try to find his legs.
Don't say that. That's me.
I'm not going to say, like, you inspired this guy, had no will to live, and then he saw you, and he's like, holy fuck, I have to get out of bed. I have to go meet this woman. I love her. And then you inspired this guy to walk in, which I was going to say, it's just one of the most amazing things ever. And that's crazy. That's awesome if you could have that sort of inspiration in people.
Wow, he didn't say that, but I'm glad the way I make him feel.
Your legs, yeah. All of a sudden, he got some prosthetic legs. He's like, man, I got to go meet this woman ASAP. I got to get my prosthetic legs on. I got to, you know what I mean? And someone says, Sean Indy, listen, Sean Indy, you left some interesting comments today. I remember you called in one time. Why do I have a guitar in the background? Because I beast the guitar. I would crush you in a heads up for rolls guitar match, Sean. If you ever want to see it, if you ever want to do it, let's go. Put your money up there. Don't be talking shit in the chat if you ain't willing to back it up in the streets, okay? That's what I got to say to you, bro, all right? That's it. That's what I got to say about that. That's what I got. That's it. What do you think about that? Heads up for rolls guitar challenge. Who do you think's going to win?
What?
Never mind. Who do you think will win a heads up for rolls guitar challenge? Me or this random guy in the chat, Sean Indy?
Well, I don't know who's the random guy. I know you can play, so I vote you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I know you just got back from London. You were out there for the 888 thing. How did this 888 thing come to be? You know, was it a big negotiation? Were you like, how did it come to be where now you're an official 888 team professional?
Oh, well, I think contact with 888 was a couple years ago, like 2 years ago. I went to south of Brazil on an 888 tournament, and I actually was making interviews, and I was so bad. It was a disaster. It's not for everyone. I was so shy. I couldn't talk. I couldn't ask people questions. And I was like, oh my God, I blew up. I won't do anything with 888 again. But they are the best people in the world. They're an amazing team. I'm so happy. They're amazing. Everything about 888 is amazing. The platform, the people, the tournaments. I'm super happy. And you can see. And I think they noticed me after Vegas. Actually, all this year, I went to Florida. I won a side event of PLO there. Then I went to Vegas. I had some good scores. Then I went to Barcelona. I got third on the PLO. Then I went to London and I won the ladies event. And they saw I could play. And that was doing good. And I think they felt that I could be a good acquisition for the team and I could speak for the brand. And I was ready for them. This is everything I always wanted. A bit. And the final negotiation was in World Series Europe. And where they announced me live. I signed the contract live. I was super shy before it, but I was so happy. Everyone who saw the video saw how much I was smiling. And that's it.
I like it. 888 Poker. I know they got Tonka on there. Dominic Niche on there. Let's see how many 888 Poker team players I can name off on here. Natalie's on there too. Natalie Hoff. Sophia on the team too. Sophia, yeah. Chris Moorman. Wow, this is it should be like a test. How many poker pros can I name for each site?
There is a couple more.
A bunch of fucking random tournament players I've never heard of in my life. Who else is on there? I'm not sure.
No, but they're not ambassadors. Like those you said are ambassador. There is one more famous ambassador. Like if I tell you, you're gonna say, "Oh, of course."
I already said Tonka, guys. Come on, I said the first person I said.
Yeah, it's a girl.
It's a girl. Vivian Saliba?
No. Yeah, but no.
Who is it?
Kara Scott.
Oh, Kara Scott. Oh yeah. Well, she doesn't really play much poker, so I kind of forget about her.
She plays as well. She plays. She's in the road for a while. She's good. Kara Scott. The Brazilian Bruno Foster. He was November 9, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there is a soccer player, Brazilian soccer player as well, Denilson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's a legend of soccer.
Yeah, I was wondering who that guy. I saw him during the Instagram stuff in World Series Poker Brazil or 888 Brazil, or I get them all. Listen, I get them all confused. I don't know. I get a lot of those confused. I gotta call out a comment here because I gotta give this guy some love. Steven Celino says, why does this podcast make me realize that Joey Ingram was one of the better looking guys in poker? Thank you, Steven. I appreciate that much. Thank you.
Oh God.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah. You get a lot of guys that are trying to slide into DMs or like trying to hit you up and say, hey, let's play poker. Like, do you get, because I get guys that try to do that to me, and I'm a man, so I can't imagine how many men you get trying to do that for you, or women too. I mean, I don't know. I get some women too sometimes.
I don't receive many invitations to go play poker, but I receive many compliments like, oh, you're so pretty, or just random questions. People ask me obvious things just to try to start a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I
I kind of like that approach. I didn't think about that. Ask an obvious. I'm going to write this down. Ask an obvious question. Ask an obvious question to get a conversation started. I don't think I want to switch that.
But I don't even respond for that. I don't answer. I don't reply. No, some just random bullshit. No. I try to be polite and prestative with everybody. Is this a word? Prestative? No. I'm trying to create a word.
Sounds like you're saying positive and prostitute, but I don't.
No, it's not. In Portuguese is, and some words are similar. So I try to be like, to give everyone's attention and being polite. How do I say it? Is that a word for that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't use this. Whatever this word is, I don't actually implement this word in my life, so I'm not sure what the word is.
Yeah, I try to be positive and nice, but some just random bullshit or something like, there is nothing I can do. I read, I appreciate, but
Interesting.
What do you think, Jay?
I'm just taking it in. I'm taking in your strategy. I'm taking in the way that you deal with people, and I'm just learning some strats out there. You know, the guys want to know. They want to know. They think the guys out there, they dream about potentially I mean, that's what they dream. They dream about finding themselves an attractive poker player girlfriend, or, you know, not really boyfriend, but a poker player girlfriend as well. So I think when they actually do meet a lot of these girls out there that play poker, they like can't control themselves, and they just sort of like say things and spit out things. And I mean, I don't know. It's got to be a little bit interesting / weird / a lot to deal with, I would imagine.
You're correct. It's all of that. Yeah. Do many girls hit on you? Because of poker and podcast. I mean, I don't know, the dealers, the masseuses, the casino employees. I don't know.
I'm not sure who's watching right now, but shout out to the stalkers. Yes, for sure it happens. Yes, I cannot imagine if I was in a space where there was like my audience was women, or there was more women that played poker, because yeah, for sure they definitely do. Shout out to them. I actually have a theory, Vivian. I've never told this theory on a podcast before, but I have a theory. Okay, and I don't know if this is feminist or not. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for this or not, but I have a theory. If a woman if a woman slides in your DMs, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, I'm telling you guys that I don't know how this happens, Vivian, but she 99.9% of the time is interested in having some type of moment with you in your life. And I don't know if it's the same for men to do that to women, but I never knew this. I didn't know about this, Vivian. This is a new revelation for me over the past year.
I see. Who do you think you're tricking, Jay?
What do you mean?
It's just bullshit talking.
You don't think that's
like
true?
Like the people who send me random stuff, like you're just like blah, 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 blah. Say it.
The real Vivian's coming out. Wait, listen, I gotta be PC about it. Come on, it's on the podcast. I don't know who's watching right now.
Reveal it.
What do you want me to reveal?
Everything.
You want me to reveal the secrets? If you reveal a secret, I'll reveal a secret.
I'm telling everything. I'm in a polite way, but I am.
Did you have any prop bets you made this summer at all? When you were out here playing poker?
Not really.
No prop bets at all?
No.
Not one prop bet ever?
No.
No? Okay. I don't know. I thought you had I thought you made a prop bet. I wasn't sure. I think you actually won the prop.
I didn't. Yeah. I won it.
You won the prop. Oh, so you did make a prop bet. You won it.
You see?
What was the bet? What was the bet you made?
You told me you bet you could marry me if you wanted, and by the end of the summer.
Okay, that's not true technically. That's not the bet. Fine, you tell the bet how you thought the bet to be.
Yeah, you said that, and I told you that was impossible because I know myself, and that's
that's not what you said.
I won.
That's not what you said.
It is.
Don't lie to the people on the pod. Here's what happened, guys. Okay, here's what happened. So me and Vivian made a bet one night that was I could I could marry her by the end. We would get married by the end of the summer. It would be a mutual thing. I'm not going to fucking force her down and Harvey Weinstein to marry me or something like that at the chapel. We were going to have to make a bet that, and I don't know, man. I feel like, yeah, you did win the bet. You're right. We're not married. That's true.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Sad to think about. What did somebody win now? I'm not sure.
What?
What were the stipulations on the bet? I know I did lose the bet. Damn, man. My God.
Yeah, it was a silly bet, stupid bet, random bet.
Was there any other bet? I think there was another prop bet. I think there might have been something else that you made this summer.
No.
No.
I lost the last longer we made PLO. We made a last longer bet.
Oh yeah, how much was that for? Oh, it's for dinner. Oh, you had to buy. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was sushi samba or something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I won the 10K PLO last longer, even though I didn't take the most money. But that's different stuff. Yeah, it was my first last longer bet ever. I lost it. And what else, Jay?
I guess so. What do you have planned for this rest of this year? You mentioned that you're back in Brazil now. So you're gonna just play online mainly right now on 888 poker, or are you going to want to travel right now, or sort of, what are you thinking? There's Millions coming up in January. There's PCA or something. I guess you probably won't go to that because that's for Poker Stars. But what's your plans coming up for the next couple months?
All right. I'm staying in Brazil to New Year's probably. I will spend a little time with my family. When you're in the road, looks like amazing life, and there is so many things about it. You have the opportunity to meet amazing places and go places because of poker. So it's work and also a little fun, and you have the chance to see the world, but you're away from your family, from your friends. Now I have a boyfriend and he's doing this with me, and it's way easier now, but I miss home. So it's really good to be here now for at least 5 weeks. Millions, I've never been there. I would love to go to Australia, but Australia, it's very far from Brazil. I think it's pretty far from the US as well.
Oh yeah.
And when you do this kind of trips, it costs a lot of money. Why are you laughing?
Because once you said you had a boyfriend, everyone in the chat's like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, we're taking off. They didn't know. They thought they had hope, Vivian. They had hope that they could potentially, I don't know what they thought, but everyone in the chat said they're taking off. They're out of here.
Oh, don't do this, guys. It's about poker.
Poker, guys. Calm down, guys. Calm down. It's about poker.
All right. All the trips, they cost a lot of money. It's airplane ticket, it's room, it's food, and it's also millions there. But you can't longer play online in Australia.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that Australia made some new laws where I don't know what sites you can play on, but
maybe it's some closed market nowadays. But I'm pretty sure it was closed. And in terms of logistic, I don't know if it's gonna make too much sense. So like US, it's so amazing. You can play everywhere. There are amazing circuits all the time, and it's more logical. Also Europe for me, because it's cheap to travel inside Europe and you have many options all the time. I don't know about Australia. People can tell me because I've never been there. I know Aus Millions, it's famous tournament, but I don't know about the other tournaments there. People can tell us, whoever been there. So I don't know yet.
Undecided. Well, I've been to Australia before. I fucking hate Australia.
How is that possible?
I don't like Australian women at all. I don't like living in Australia. I never want to go back to Australia in my entire life.
Are you joking?
No, I'm serious.
Now you're gonna tell us what happened there, that you have so much hate on this little heart.
I'm just kidding. I don't hate Australia that much. I don't ever want to go back. It's very far. I ruined my life there. I almost died. I just don't want to go back to Australia, Vivian.
Why you almost died? Now I'm asking the questions.
You want to ask the questions? You want to turn it around for a little bit? You want to do a Poker Life podcast with Vivian Saliba? I'll be the guest, Joey Ingram. You can ask me some questions.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Joe Ingram, what happened in Australia that you almost died?
Well, the brief story of what happened in Australia was I went to Australia. I developed a deep love to do drugs late at nighttime. I lost all my money playing poker. I came back to the United States with no money and had to stop doing drugs.
I'm sad to hear that, but I'm glad you turned out really well. And also those bad things that happen to us is also what make us go farther and fight about it. You lost everything and look at you right now.
That's true.
Very good.
Dang, you're good at this. Okay, we'll get one more. Let's go. Get another question. Let's do it.
I'm not good. I told you about the South story.
You're putting in the lab repetition. You're putting in the outside. You come back. I'm gonna make a video, guys, on my YouTube channel about what happened.
How to talk.
How to what?
How to talk in front of the camera. It's tough.
You gotta sort of. So I think what the key is you sort of have. They are expensive there, by the way, Sarah. I agree, but you sort of have to forget that you're in front of the camera. You have to forget that a lot of people are gonna watch this or anything like that, and I think that's tough for sure because once this podcast goes up, it's viewed by who knows how many people, thousands of people are gonna be able to watch it. And sure, a lot of them don't make it this far, but a lot of them do. So it's always like you don't want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, especially for you. You don't really do much. You don't do much videos like this. This is probably one of your first times that a lot of people are really getting exposure to you. So of course you want to put on your sort of your best front, your most polite front, your sort of safer front, which in a lot of ways necessarily might be how you operate all the time. But it's a very it's less of a polarizing way to be because I think once a lot of people, and this is kind of, something I always think about, once you actually start showing off different, deeper parts of yourself, well, then that ends up you being vulnerable. And then a lot of times those deeper parts you show yourself, people are going to say, oh, I fucking hate that. And those are who we really are. So when they say that, it's going to hurt us. So if we're like this safe representation of us and it's not really who we are, if people are like, oh, I like that or I don't like that, for the most part, it's not really going to impact us because that might not be who we are. But then as you show more depth and more depth and more depth, those comments you receive become more and more impactful potentially on you. So, and also, as you mentioned, in front of the camera, it's a lot of nervousness. It's a lot of the first time. So I think over time, as you do more, it gets better and better and better. And yeah.
Yeah, you showed me a couple of your videos in the past, and you have talent. You've always been good. In my case, I don't think I ever could be as good as you are when you were bad on the past. And I remember the first time I had to talk in front of camera, I could speak. And there was this tournament in Brazil. We were about to go on break, and the reporter, she asked me, can you talk to me on break? And I said, of course. So I got out of my chair, I went to her, and I started doing like this with makeup, and I said, do I look fine? And she did like, you look amazing. We are live here with Vivi. And that was really embarrassing. I couldn't talk. I was like, it was ridiculous. And my dad, he was close to me. She picked my dad and she started asking him questions because I couldn't talk. I was completely like, I don't know. I freezed. It's tough. I'm pretty sure you would handle the situation completely different. Nowadays, I would laugh and like, oops. But
yeah, I think back in the day, I might have handled it where I think before I just didn't realize you don't realize sort of what you say gets out there and you just sort of say things and you don't really think about anybody watching them or anything like that. And also I think it's different for me because a lot of times when I started doing live content and stuff like that, I was also at home. So I really wasn't seeing people that watched my stuff or seeing people that may have listened to anything I was doing. So I never really had to face the sort of human reality for a lot of the things I was doing. Whereas someone like you're always interacting with people in the poker world. You're constantly seeing them at the poker table. You're walking around. You're seeing them on even a lot of social media. Then you see them in real life. So I feel like a lot of things for people like that, when they say it, like they're going to see these people straight away. So if they say something dumb, they're like, oh my God, I got to go fucking see Teddy over there at the table. And I think that's a lot more pressure to deal with for some people than for you to just say something online. And then who knows if you'll ever see people that watch that.
Yes, it's kind of true. We see all these people all the time. And like we said, 98% of things are positive and we do well to people. But there's people who are frustrated in their lives, or they want to be like, they wish they were you, and they just threw bad stuff. I don't know what people do that, but now I realize that sometimes you do and you don't even know you're doing this. You're just saying things to friends, or you write something and you don't realize you're hurting people or just offending people for free, or I don't know. It's something that also changed the way I will behave from now with others.
Get kind of back to poker, and then we'll take a couple questions from the chat. So you're going to be playing online. Are you going to be focusing more on Omaha cash games, or are you going to be focusing more on tournaments? Because I've always found that, trying to work at two different game types at once really is a recipe for not success for the most part, because especially PLO cash and Noma home tournaments, very different approaches, different strategies to work at. So now when you decide, okay, I'm going to go work at these, what's going to be your focus and how are you going to approach, study, and play with doing things like that?
All right. I love cash games. So definitely I will be playing a lot of PLO cash game. I also really enjoy playing big hold'em tournaments. So maybe one day a week I would get to play a little bigger buy-ins and play with passion and do my best. Because the key for me is do something you love. Because if you're playing something you don't like, the limits you don't like, the games you don't like, you won't play well. You'll get bored. You will commit leaks. And that won't work. So I agree. It's tough to mix more than one type of game. In the past, I did it sometimes, like playing Zoom games, cash games, tournaments, and it's all a mess. So you can do different types, but different days of the week, for an example.
Okay, let's take the questions from the chat, guys. Steve asked about if she had a job before poker. Yeah, we talked about that at the beginning, Steve-O, where she mentioned about having a job before poker. Do you ever plan to go back to a regular job, Vivian? Do you ever plan to get something official one day?
Right now what I have is official. Being a poker player before the 888 thing was already a lot of work and discipline. But now with 888, I have job things I have to do daily. I have media contents, the company marketing strategy things. I have mails. I have people to talk. Like I have events that I have to go. It's a job for sure.
Maybe
it's a little different than before because now I have responsibilities.
Responsibility. Not the best friend of a poker player for sure. I think I could use some more I think responsibility and some accountability is good for a poker player, especially one who makes their own schedule, plays at their own leisure. Because I've realized since I've had a Monday night show I do for Live at the Bike every Monday, I've realized that some scheduling in my life would have been very, 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 very good for me. So.
Yeah, it's important. I really want to grow inside of 888, help them grow too. And it's a lot of work. I arrived in Brazil yesterday. Had some personal things to do. Today I was handling some 888 things. Then I have this with you. Tomorrow I'm going to have an 888 event here that I will be playing. Also, they're going to have some media content to do. So I have a full agenda right now. It's a little different than before, but I'm liking.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how things go after a while here. Let's take some questions from the chat, guys. So GTO, what a great name, says, what was her biggest aha moment?
Aha is like my good moment.
It's more like a light bulb, like, aha, I realized this or I learned this sort of thing.
Mm. Mm. Um, I don't know if I got the question pretty well, but now that I signed with 888 and I knew I did everything right and I was going the right way, and now I know I'm still doing and going the right way. Like I have something in my mind and I see things, I plan them, and they kind of work how I was expecting.
Hmm.
So it was like a confirmation moment. Like, yeah, I was right. Many people told me different things. My family in the beginning, my mom, my siblings, they didn't support poker. They thought I was completely crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and they changed their minds. They're my biggest supporters nowadays. My dad, he messaged me a couple minutes before we started here, and he was like, "What is the link? I want to see you live. What is the link?"
Oh, damn. Shout out
And
to your dad. Shout out to Big Poppy out there.
yeah, do you know how I call him?
What do you call him?
Papito.
You call him Papito?
It's like Papi's dead, and like Papito, but
Damn.
not with the G, not with the G. But
Wow.
his name on my cell phone is Papito.
Wow. Weird. Very weird. Very strange for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody
but-
says you look like Kim Kardashian. And Sarah says Kim K was Vivian definitely does not look like Kim Kardashian. No, there's no chance that it looks like Kim.
well, I would take that as a compliment because she's damn hot.
Yeah, I mean she's pretty sexy, but I don't think you look like Kim Kardashian though. Mika World says, who does she think is the best poker player?
This is a tough question because there's so many good people, good players. I'm pretty impressed with Fedor Holz, like what he's been doing. I think he's damn impressive. Talking about women, I think Vanessa Selbest, she's amazing. All right. Quick break.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, something happened. I don't know. My speaker sort of messed up here.
All right.
All right, so yeah. So, who did you say you think the best player was?
I said I'm pretty impressed what Fedor Holz is doing. I think he's amazing. Also, Vanessa Selbest talking about women in poker. There is so many good people out there, so many smart people and committed to poker. It's tough question.
I think the best poker player is a person named the Supreme Leader Douglas K. Polk. I think that is who I think the best poker player is. Why do we have all these Polish people that are chatting and I keep blocking them? They keep making names. What is happening here? Do you have a big Polish fan base I don't know about, Vivian?
Polish? Not really.
No. Okay. I don't. Yeah.
Should I?
Let's see here. A couple more questions from the chat. Dad saw all his comments. Yeah, good. Let's see. No, that's not a question. Who does she think is the best female poker player? East Coast Grinder says.
Vanessa Selbest.
Okay, Vanessa Selbst. Are you sure you're in 2017 or is this
She's not having results for a while, but what she done, not many women did. Like you see many girls who have like one big hit, one big score, and then they disappear and they are known for a while. But I think poker is about consistency, even though you don't have like a bracelet, but you're always there.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a little bit because of variance, also a little combined with bad luck and some adjustments. But for me, the best players are the most consistent ones.
Best players are most consistent. That means I need to change my answer. The best player I'm gonna pick is Doug Polk. I'm picking Doug Polk. Doug Polk's the best player I know.
He's pretty good. He's done a lot.
consistent. Vivian, he's consistent. He's very consistent. When he plays Potland Omaha, he consistently books a losing session. When he plays Nolan Hold'em, he consistently books, well, he books winning sessions at Nolan Hold'em. So I think Doug Polk. I think Doug Polk's gonna be my favorite, one of my favorite players. Supreme leader, Douglas K. Polk. I think we're actually having Doug Polk back in the podcast on Friday. He has something to reveal, and I'm not happy about it. So, okay, a couple last questions. What is the most she's won in a cash game?
The most I ever won. I don't know, not much. I never played really high cash games. I played, I think, like 10K euros or so. Like it wasn't a 25-25 session.
So
I learned to book wins. I don't play till I can go broke or go super stuck. So I learned this is really healthy, at least for my mental health, to be consistently winning.
Mhm.
And in the past, I played some awesome games. And I know a little bit for what I was talking before, like if the game's good, you should keep playing. But it depends on how you feel about it, how you're playing, if it's okay for your bankroll. So
Right.
if it's all good, yes.
I agree. It's a very interesting kind of topic on its own right there. The idea of booking small wins, of building up confidence, of potentially playing long sessions when you are winning. You know, just that idea. I feel like a lot of people, you know, who knows? I don't know if they think about that. I can't ask that question. I'm not going to ask the question. I'm not asking the masturbation question, Rich. Okay, I'm not going to ask that question in today's podcast. Normally, that's a regular staple of the Poker Life podcast, but I'm not going to ask that one to Vivian. You know, I don't know. She doesn't play much online poker. There's no point to ask the question. So I guess if people want to follow you, Vivian, if they want to send you some message that you're not going to answer them, is Instagram the best place? Is that the place to go? Is that where you send all the fans to?
Yeah. It's vivi.saliba.
Vivi.saliba. You have such great, people love you on Instagram. Every time you post a picture, it gets like thousands of likes on there. I got to say, man, being a woman on Instagram versus being a man on Instagram, I've noticed much more GTO to be a woman. I mean, especially okay, let me rephrase that. It's much more GTO to be an attractive woman on Instagram than it is to be anything else on Instagram, because the guys just fucking, they love women on there. I don't understand. Why don't they love me as much as they love women? You know, I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but.
Are you jealous, Jay?
I'm not jealous. I'm more sad.
Are you sensitive?
I'm sensitive. I am. I'm sad.
Yeah. You need to work on it, you know?
Yeah, I know. I think I need to do something else and differently where my audience is more women than men. So just need to take my shirt off more. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. My audience is
not abort.
Abort? Wait, I shouldn't take off my shirt?
Oh.
Why not?
Your fans won't like it.
Okay. All right. Well, guys in the chat, if you want to hit up Vivian, if you want to follow along with her journey to becoming one of the greatest poker players in the entire world and a legend of the poker world, follow her on Instagram at Vivi Saliba. I'll put the link in the description below. And what else? I think that's going to be it. I'll be back on Friday, Doug Polk podcast. Probably put out a video, a special Thanksgiving Thursday video edition. I don't know what it's going to be quite yet. And yeah, I don't know. That's what we got. Vivian, anything else you want to add to the people? Anything else you want to tell the people out there?
No, I would like to say thank you for having me here. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. And we see this on the summer in Vegas. And if I can, I will go for the bike PLO week before that. That sounds really fun.
Well, guys, thanks for all the good questions, all the good comments. Thanks for all the out-of-line comments. You guys know it wouldn't be out of line with me if there wasn't out-of-line comments in the chat the entire time today. So much love, everybody. Peace out. Adios. Godspeed. Hola, Colomos, Acada, Moracita, Papi. Good stuff. Harb, shout out. The Cliff 06, East Coast Grinder, Steven Celino. Big Papi's never taken the L. Come on, guys. I'm so GTO. Ryan Feldman. That's it. Peace out. Ryan Feldman says come to live at the bike. That's all we got. Peace out.